Okay, so let's get started. So we have our two halves of the cover. This side looks fairly good. We need to get these pieces folded back over. So the cover is sitting on a piece of Hollytex, our normal setup. And I have another piece of Hollytex over here to cover it when we're done. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and pour our calcium hydroxide blend right directly on top of the paper because I want to soak it and manipulate it in a way that I can get these pieces to roll back over. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and put our Hollytex back over. So the cover is taking the solution up fairly quickly. So let's see if we can roll these over. It's looking really good. And we got to be careful we don't want to tear anything. So far, so good. I'm really happy with the quality of the tears. I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but this is going to make it so much easier to fix. Okay, so I think we got all the pieces down. So now what we're going to do, we're going to keep a little gap in there, and we're going to go ahead and put the top piece of Hollytex, and then we're going to go ahead. Wow, look at all the tannins just come right out of this paper. So this will probably be a very quick agitation and rinse. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up to the camera a bit. You can see almost immediately this is coming out. Looks like we got a little corner down here that's a little flap. It'll probably detach itself. That's okay. We'll be needing to reattach that fairly quickly. Okay, so this is rinsing very quickly. A lot of the tannins are right there. You can see it on the camera, it's a huge amount. And we've only been rinsing less than a minute. So since this is the case, I'm going to go ahead and pour this off, and we're going to go on with a clean batch because we don't want to lose any of the ink colors out. So go ahead and pour this off right away. Okay, awesome, awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and flip this over, and we are going to, now that we have that laid out, we want to take care of these colors, but look at this. I mean, look how deep and dark that is. That's something else. Okay, here's round two. So we're going to go ahead and just rinse this. We're keeping an eye out for any ink loss. Put my thumb down on that piece there and try to keep it from floating around. So far, so good. So I think that first go was just a lot of the tannins being released from the cover. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this one more time. And there's our little corner piece right there. We'll just go ahead and let it float freely. It's quite all right, as long as I don't pour it down the drain when it comes time to rinse. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we keep our rinsing and washing to a minimum. We don't want to take everything out because everything would also include the sizing of the paper. Now we can always resize the book, but that's an extra step that really, honestly, I don't care to take at this point. Get that off to the side. That looks good. All right, we'll let this sit here for a minute. I don't see any more tannins coming loose. I don't see any inks coming loose. Okay, so I'm happy with everything here. Got a little bit. Yep, that looks pretty good in the corner. So we're getting that little bit of rose colored. So we're going to pour this off now. Oops. Gotta hang on to all the pieces here. So let's get this over. Get everything in the corner. And into the jar it goes. Okay, it's much lighter now, so I'm happy about that. So we're going to go ahead and give it a final rinse, and then we'll start working on it. Okay, so I didn't do the final rinse on camera, but I do have the results of it. It's got this nice creamy color to it, so I think we're good enough. I think we cleaned everything up. So let's take a look. I've already run these through the heat press and dried them out. I removed the little teeny micro piece and set it off to the side. So let's take a quick look at this. So when we unfolded all of the little edges, they all went down flat as expected. We do have one little breakaway right there, but it's complete. We can put that in after the fact. But let's go ahead, let me slide this out of the way, and let's take a look and see how well everything matches up. Now, looking at this, it looks really tight. It is. So this is a nice, clean tear right down the spine. We've got our original staple hole, which is a tear through there, and the other two staple holes here. Of course, this piece right here is this one that it came loose. So, and as you can see, we still have that nice creamy color to the paper, and it's been cleaned of its tannins. So let's go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to be very careful because these pages are still a bit on the brittle side. Oh, looks like we got another little escapee. So put that down here with this one. So again, this came out really nice. Let's put these back together again from this side. And you know, our repair is going to be the typical repair. We're going to do Japanese paper and wheat paste from the back side. All the staining and the brown and the dust bunnies and whatever you want to call it are gone. We still have beautiful gloss here. You know, obviously we can't get rid of any of our color breaking folds, but they're flat now. Everything is pressed flat. So our next step right now, this is dry. This is going to go into the blue light chamber. We're going to give it a dose. That will take care of any foxing, anything residual, and maybe lighten it a shade. So we'll come back to this. Actually, it's evening now. We'll come back to it tomorrow. It'll be done going through 2 rides through the blue light chamber for 3 hours each. And that's about it. We'll see you in a little bit after it's done. And if you haven't tuned in to our live show yet, Dr. Paul from Liberty Hill Comics, Phantom Phil from Phantom Restorations, and myself, we have a live chat. We take your questions. We answer as many as we possibly can. And we try to choose interesting topics for the evening to talk about regarding comic conservation, preservation, and restoration. So please join us. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.